We're Max and Oksana, an ordinary couple on an extraordinary half-lap adventure around Australia. This week, we detoured from the Red Centre and made our way into Western Australia via the Tanami Road, a famous outback track running through the Tanami Desert. It was just over 1,000 kilometers of rough roads and desolate landscapes, a fitting challenge for Tilly the Troopy.
Well, good morning everyone. Today we are embarking on our next part of our journey, which will see us go across the Tanami Road. So this is about a 1,200 kilometer road that goes through the Aussie outback from Alice Springs to Halls Creek in Western Australia. It is a formidable road which is known to get very bad because of the corrugation on the road and because a lot of the big giant road train trucks use it as well. We've received condition updates from people in the Alice Spring campground, and they said it was not too bad right now, so we're going to take our chance going across here and hopefully nothing falls apart in the car. We're taking this road because it is a great Australian outback road, and that's part of the reason why we got Tilly in the first place, is to take these types of adventures rather than taking the paved road, the bitumen all the way around. So we're looking forward to it. Hopefully the car doesn't fall apart. Hopefully we'll see some wildlife along the way. We heard some people sometimes spot wild camels or dingoes along the way. And it also saves us about 8 hours of driving if we go around, plus an extra 1,000 kilometers. So let's hope it goes good. Okay, we've arrived at the first stop. I guess it's a stop. It's a petrol stop. So we're gonna fill up some more diesel here. This is one of the 2 stops along the way. We're only about 180 kilometers in, so not too far. But anytime you see diesel here, you gotta fill up because it is a very long trip. It's about 1,200 kilometers, as I mentioned before. And that's just about as much as our tank will give us. So always fuel up.
Love a good road stop with good facilities, and this one had it all. Clean toilets, there's a shop in here, and fuel, of course. So on to the next stop. I think we've got about 100 kilometers to go before the next town, and then it's nothing from there.
Well, we're driving here, and what do we see? Our first wild camel.
It's a camel. Stop. Stop.
He looks to be injured though.
Hey, you should go to the camel farm, mate. Here they take care of people, camels there.
He's a big bull. He's got big cojones. Alright, we are at our next stop, which is Yuendumu. It is approximately 250 or so kilometers from Alice Springs. We had hoped to make it here on time to visit the art center because this is supposed to be a cultural hub for Indigenous art, but it is now past 4 o'clock and they are closed. But like we said before, still got to fill up on fuel because this will be our last fuel stop for the next 800 and so kilometers. So
don't put opal in.
I won't.
It's precious.
Well, since we're now leaving Yuendumu, we have to deflate our tires because from here on out, it's corrugation and gravel roads. And having airs that are too pumped up, like we've told you before, will only mean an uncomfortable ride and then a further worsening of the roads for other people. So it's always the responsible thing to do is to air down. We're going to air down to around probably 30 and that will give us a much more comfortable ride. Air down and ready to Tanami. Well, we have arrived at our area of rest. Some might call that a road stop, rest stop. We've driven for about 5.5 hours today. So it's about a third of the way there. It's a pull-off area that's called Renahans Bore, I think. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful sunset. We'll stop here, let Tilly rest a bit. We will rest a bit, and then we will continue on in the morning. Hopefully tonight, maybe I'll take some star shots. Could be pretty nice. No cars, no humans around here. Look at all that dirt on the light. It was almost an orange light. Although it does have orange light as well. But there's no flies or mosquitoes here, so that won't bother us.
And it's nice and warm.
It is definitely warmer, and I was talking to our neighbor who said the rest of the road is quite good. And he said it's a lot warmer. So yesterday he was in the Bungles, which is where we're going, and it was 32 degrees.
What?
So
that is temperatures we don't even know existed.
Yeah, so that happens tomorrow, maybe.
Very exciting. So, since it's warm out, we decided to actually cook some proper food for dinner.
Not just salad for dinner anymore?
Not just salad. While freezing inside. So for dinner we've got some gourmet vegan sausages, some leftover aubergine, eggplant, and wine. Heyo. Maybe there'll be a salad as well.
Look at the dirt. Hot dirt.
Whoa, dirt.
Lots of dirt. Here I thought this was dirt, but I'm like, it looks so thick, like it's not dust. And it's instant coffee that Oksana spilled a few days ago. It's found its way down the vehicle to the very back. She spilled it in here, the very back.
Crisis averted.
Crisis
Dirt has not come
averted.
into Tilly.
Give me some wine, yo.
Sausages are ready and they smell delicious. Lots of veggies on the grill. And a salad in the making.
Luxury
Luxury meal at a rest stop.
bush cooking. Bush tucker.
And dinner is served.
Food all finished.
A little water for some late night tea.
Late night? You mean early night? Or do you have anything else to do?
7 o'clock. Early night tea. And we'll be all set to go.
Cheers to the first night on the Tanami. That's how you drink wine. Well, this is day 2 of the Tanami track. We have supposedly hit the better part of the road. It's a little less sandy, a little bit less corrugation. But other than that, it looks good. We got started early today because there's not much to do with no internet. And it was a little chilly in the morning. So hopefully today we will make it at least all the way to the Wolfe Creek crater, which is around 5 hours from where we took off today. And yeah, that's the plan for today. We talked to someone who stayed where we did, and they gave us a road report because they were coming the opposite way, and they said it was all good. They were driving 100 kilometers an hour. Someone else that was driving, that was at the campsite, was in a small little all-wheel drive Subaru, and he looked pretty stressed out because he didn't have a 4x4. So definitely recommend a 4x4 for this type of road. It would, even though you can do it in a non-4x4 and all-wheel drive, it's just not going to be fun. It's going to be very bumpy. It's going to be very nerve-wracking. So I'm glad we got Tilly for this trip. Well, we have made it to one of the highlights of the Tanami, which is Wolfe Creek Meteor Crater. So this is about 3/4 of the way through the trip. There's a giant crater hole that you can visit and a campsite nearby. So it's only about a 400-meter walk to get to the crater. And you can see from where a meteor hit a long time ago. Just see it all the way up there. Some people up there just taking a few snaps. So we'll go check that out. How does it look?
Big.
Like the second biggest in the world? Well, the crater was pretty cool. It was definitely a nice thing to stop and see and stretch the legs a bit. It did look like it had a pretty good campsite there, which normally we would stay at. But Halls Creek, which was going to be the next destination anyways, is only an extra 2 hours away. There's still plenty of daylight left, so we figured why not just power on through. There's only 111 kilometers left in the Tanami, and that would just put us a little bit ahead of schedule so that when we go into the bungalows tomorrow, we can actually see something along the way. If not, it just would have been another 5-hour day tomorrow, which we didn't want to do, so we thought, let's just extend this day out, get there a little bit earlier tomorrow, and maybe enjoy some of what the bungalows has to offer.
Stop 50 kilometers from bitumen, and we have a very, very, very flat tire. Oh, so close. Oh, it's so far away.
Let's hope we don't pop another tire, because that's the last spare. Update. So we pulled into the caravan park in Halls Creek, just because it was the closest place. We were planning on going 10 kilometers up the road, but this just seemed like it was the best place to go considering our dilemma with tire blowing situation. I had a look around last night to see what we could do where the tire repair shops are. It looks like there is a tire shops here in Halls Creek. Just called them up though. They don't have tires exactly our size, which means I'd have to replace the lot, and they're $3.50 each, which is not great. Broome does have tires, although that was going to be a place we went in a few weeks. So now I'm just calling around a few more places to see what we can find. If not, we might end up getting a second-hand pair somewhere along route.
Been a fun morning, so we have just arrived at a tire shop in hopes that maybe they can repair our tire, although Max really doesn't think that it's repairable. If they can't repair it, then we unfortunately have to cancel our plans to go to the Bunga range, because it is a 4-wheel drive track that's pretty rough, and it'd be really risky to do it without a spare tire. We have not been able to find a tire that fits our vehicle here in Halls Creek. No one's picking up. It doesn't help that it's the weekend, so we may have to cancel our plans and reroute to Broome, where there's lots more providers and hopefully more chances of getting the tires that we need. Joys.
We came here to see if our tire is repairable, and the gentleman here says that they could fix it. It's $55, but it's not really a roadworthy tire, which means it's not really safe. It is the back tire, which means blowouts are very different there, but still not safe, and because we're going on very crazy off-roads, probably not a good idea. In saying that, they do have some used tires, so we were going to try to buy tires off them, but they actually don't even have our size, because the gentleman came in yesterday and bought the remaining 2. What we know though is that the remaining 2 that the other guy switched off are here, and they're used, and the guy's selling them for $110. So we might go ahead and buy one of those tires just so we have a spare, and that would allow us to go up to the Bungles, continue our trip. But then we still probably have to look at replacing the tires later on down the line. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Good plan. Let's do it.
$100 later, and we are back on track. We have a spare tire, which is actually a decent spare tire. And that means we can now go to the Bungles. So let's go.
Woohoo!